Captain Dong-ho Kim walked through the busy halls of Galactic Station Kepler 442. The trade mission had gone well. His ship, the Magungwa, was now loaded with rare metals from the Outer Rim. Tomorrow, they would head back to Earth, with enough profit to keep his crew happy for months. The station was huge. Aliens from hundreds of worlds moved through the corridors. Some had 4 arms, others had scales instead of skin. A few floated in special suits, filled with gas. Dong-ho had seen it all before, but it still amazed him how different life could be across the galaxy. He pushed open the doors to Murphy's Cantina. The name was human, but the owner was a blob-like creature from Proxima 7. The place was packed. Music from a dozen worlds mixed together in a noise that somehow worked. The air smelled like spices, engine oil, and something that might have been flowers. Dong-ho found an empty table near the back. He ordered a drink that looked like water but tasted like home. The bartender, a 6-armed alien with purple skin, nodded at him with what might have been respect. "Captain Kim," a voice said behind him. Dong-ho turned. A tall, thin alien stood there. It had gray skin and large black eyes. Its mouth was small, and when it spoke, the words came out slow and careful. "Yes," Dong-ho said. "Do I know you?" "Am Kickstel of the Velthry Trade Guild," the alien said. "I heard your name at the docking bay. You are from Earth." "Yes, that's right." Dong-ho pointed to the empty chair. "Want to sit?" Kickstel sat down. Its movements were smooth, like it was floating. "I have a question about your world, if you do not mind. Ask away. Why is Earth listed as a Class X death world in the galactic records?" Dong-ho took a sip of his drink. The question didn't surprise him. He got it a lot when he traveled to other systems. "What do you mean?" "Class X worlds are places where nothing can live," Kickstel said. "They are poison worlds, radiation worlds, worlds with no air or water. The Council tells all species to stay away from them, but you live on Earth. Your whole species lives there. How is this possible?" Before Dong-ho could answer, another alien walked up to their table. This one was shorter, with blue-green skin and 4 eyes. "Did I hear you talking about Earth?" it asked. "Yes," Kickstel said. "This is Captain Kim. He is from the famous Death World." The blue alien sat down without being asked. "I am Ventar of the Zephyrian Science Council. I have read about Earth in our files. Very strange place, very dangerous." "Dangerous how?" Dong-ho asked. "The weather alone should kill everything," Ventar said. "Windstorms that move at 200 kilometers per hour. Water falling from the sky in frozen chunks. Temperature changes of 50 degrees in one day. And that is just the weather." More aliens started to gather around the table. Word was spreading through the cantina that there was a human from Earth present. Soon, Dong-ho was surrounded by creatures from a dozen different worlds. A massive alien with thick red skin and tusks pushed through the crowd. "I am Vexter of the Kron War clans," it said in a deep voice. "We have heard stories about human warriors. They say you are very hard to kill. We hear many things about Earth," said a small, furry alien. "That your world tries to kill you every day, that you have creatures with teeth longer than my arm, that your oceans are full of monsters." Dong-ho looked around at all the faces staring at him. Some looked curious, others looked worried, a few looked scared. "You want to know about Earth?" he asked. "Yes," several aliens said at once. Just then, someone pushed through the crowd. "Captain." It was Myung Park, his communications officer. She was a small woman with short black hair and quick eyes. "I was looking for you. The repairs on the communication array are done." "Good," Dong-ho said. "Myung, meet our new friends. They want to know why Earth is called a death world." Myung looked around at the crowd of aliens. She smiled. "That question, we get that a lot." "Please," Kickstel said. "We are very curious. Most Class X worlds are empty, dead. Nothing grows there, nothing lives there. But Earth has billions of humans. How do you survive on a death world?" Myung pulled up a chair and sat down. "Well," she said, "maybe we should tell them the real story." "The real story?" Ventar asked. About why Earth got that name, Dongho said. About what it's really like to live there. The aliens moved closer. The noise in the rest of the cantina seemed to fade away. Everyone wanted to hear this. But first, Dongho said, "Let me ask you something. What do you think a death world is?" "A world that kills everything on it," Kixtel said quickly. "A place where life cannot exist," added Venta. "A poison place," said the furry alien. Dongho nodded. "You're right, that's what most death worlds are, empty places where nothing can live." "But Earth isn't empty, is it?" "No, several aliens said so maybe," Myung said. "The question isn't why Earth is called a death world. Maybe the question is why we're still alive." The aliens looked confused. "You see," Dongho said, "most death worlds earn that name because everything on them dies. Earth earned that name because everything on it lives." "I do not understand," Kixtel said. "Earth doesn't kill life," Myung explained. "Earth makes life stronger. It teaches life to survive anything. It creates life that can live through impossible things." "We are not just survivors," Dongho said. "We are what happens when a world tries its best to kill you, and you decide to live anyway." Vexter leaned forward. "Tell us more," Dongho smiled. It was the kind of smile that held secrets. The kind of smile that said there was much more to the story. "You asked why Earth is classified as a death world," he said. "The answer is simple. Because we're still alive." The aliens waited. They could tell this was just the beginning. "Let me tell you about Earth," Dongho said. "Let me tell you about a world that never stops trying to kill everything on it." Dongho looked around at the crowd of aliens. Their eyes were fixed on him. Some had moved closer. Others had climbed onto chairs to see better. The whole cantina had gone quiet. "Earth," he began, "is a world that changes its mind every day." "What do you mean?" asked Kixtel. "The weather," Myung said. "On most worlds, weather is predictable. Rain comes at certain times. Hot seasons and cold seasons follow patterns. On Earth, weather can kill you." Dongho nodded. "Let me tell you about hurricanes. Imagine wind moving at 300 kilometers per hour. Wind so strong it can pick up buildings and throw them around like toys. The storm covers an area bigger than most of your planets." The aliens looked at each other with worry. "But that's just one type of storm," Dongho continued. "We also have tornadoes. These are spinning columns of wind that touch the ground. They move across the land like giant drills, destroying everything in their path." "How do you survive such things?" Venta asked. "We learned to read the signs," Myung said. "We built shelters, we developed warning systems, and we learned to run very fast." "There are also blizzards," Dongho said, "snowstorms that can bury entire cities. The temperature drops so low that exposed skin freezes in minutes. The wind carries ice that cuts like knives." A small alien near the back made a scared noise. "I know a man named Jaehoon Lee said he's a scientist who studies volcanoes." "Volcanoes?" Kixtel asked. "Mountains that spit fire," Myung explained. "They shoot melted rock into the sky. The rock is so hot it glows. When it hits the ground, it burns everything it touches." "That sounds terrible," said the furry alien. "Jaehoon doesn't think so," Dongho said with a smile. "He lives next to an active volcano. He has a research station built right on its side. He's been there for 3 years, studying how it works." "He lives on a fire mountain?" Vextar asked. "Yes. He takes samples of the melted rock. He measures the gases that come out. He even goes down into caves inside the volcano to take pictures." The aliens made shocked sounds. "Last month," Dongho continued, "the volcano erupted. It shot fire and rock 10 kilometers into the sky. The explosion was so loud it broke windows 100 kilometers away." "You know what Jaehoon did?" "Ran away," suggested a blue alien. "He took notes," Myung said. "He recorded everything. He said it was the best day of his career." "Your people are crazy," Vexter said, but he didn't sound angry. He sounded impressed. "We also have earthquakes," Dongho said. The ground shakes so hard that buildings fall down. Cracks open in the earth that are so deep you can't see the bottom. Sometimes whole cities disappear into these cracks. How often does this happen? Asked Venta. Every day, Myung said. Somewhere on Earth, the ground is shaking. Most of the time, it's small. But big earthquakes happen several times a year, and you just live with this. We build our houses to bend instead of break, Dong-ho said. We practice what to do when the shaking starts. Children learn earthquake drills before they learn to read. What about the creatures on your world? Asked Kixtel. We have heard stories. Dong-ho's smile got bigger. Ah, yes, the animals. Let me tell you about Sojin Choi. She's a marine biologist. She studies water animals, yes, but not small ones. She studies whales. What are whales? Animals that live in the ocean. They're bigger than most of your spaceships. Some are 30 meters long and weigh as much as a building. The aliens gasped. Sojin swims with them, Myung added. She swims with creatures bigger than spaceships. Vexstar looked like he might faint. She says it's relaxing, Dong-ho said. She also swims with sharks. What are sharks? Fish with teeth like knives. They can bite through metal. They hunt other fish for food. Some are 6 meters long. And she swims with these sharks for fun. For work, Myung corrected. She puts tracking devices on them. She has to get close enough to touch them. Earth has many dangerous animals, Dong-ho continued. We have bears that can break trees with their hands. We have snakes with poison that can kill in minutes. We have spiders whose bite makes your flesh rot away. How do you sleep at night? Asked the small alien. Very well, Dong-ho said. Because we also learned something important about dangerous animals. What? Most of them are more afraid of us than we are of them. That cannot be true. It is, you see, humans became very good at surviving. We learned to use tools. We learned to work together. We became the most dangerous animal on Earth. The aliens looked uncomfortable. But we also learned something else, Myung said quickly. We learned to live with the dangerous animals. Some of the most dangerous ones became our friends. Friends. We have animals called dogs, Dong-ho explained. Their ancestors were wolves, pack hunters with sharp teeth and strong jaws. They could tear apart animals twice their size. Sounds terrifying. Dogs are now our best friends. They live in our houses. They play with our children. They protect us from danger. How did you make friends with monsters? We didn't make friends with monsters, Myung said. We realized that nothing on Earth is truly a monster. Everything is just trying to survive, like us. But what about diseases? Ventar asked. We know Earth has many deadly sicknesses. Oh yes, Dong-ho said. We have bacteria and viruses that can kill quickly. Some spread through the air, others through water. Some live in the soil. How do you fight them? We learned to fight back. We developed medicine. We learned to clean our water and cook our food. We built systems to stop diseases from spreading, and it works. Most of the time, sometimes new diseases appear, but we always find ways to fight them. Earth sounds like hell, said Kixtel to you. Maybe, Dong-ho said. To us, it's home. It's the place that taught us that life is precious because it's hard to keep. It taught us to be strong, Myung added. But more than that, Dong-ho said, it taught us to be clever. When you live on a world that's trying to kill you, you learn to think fast. You learn to solve problems. You learn that giving up is not an option. The aliens sat quietly, thinking about what they had heard. This is why Earth is a death world, Dong-ho said. Not because nothing can live there, but because only the strongest, smartest, most determined life. The aliens in the cantina were very quiet. They looked scared and amazed at the same time. Dong-ho could see them trying to imagine living on such a dangerous world. But here's the interesting part, he said. We didn't just learn to survive. Earth, we learned to play on it. Play, Kixtel asked. How do you play with death? Let me tell you about Hyen Woo Nam, Dong Ho said. He's what we call an extreme sports athlete. What does he do? He climbs mountains for fun. Myung leaned forward. Not small mountains. The biggest mountains on Earth. Mountains so tall that the air at the top is too thin to breathe normally. He climbs where there is no air. Ventar looked confused. The air is very thin, Dong Ho explained. Most aliens would pass out in minutes. Up there, the cold is so bad that exposed skin freezes instantly. One mistake, and you fall thousands of meters to your death. And he does this for fun. He says it's peaceful up there, Myung said with a smile. Last year, he climbed the tallest mountain on Earth during a blizzard. It took him 3 days. He said the view was worth it. But that's not all he does, Dong Ho continued. Hyunwoo also surfs. What is surfing? He stands on a board and rides ocean waves. That sounds safe. Not the waves he rides. He looks for the biggest, most dangerous waves he can find. Waves as tall as buildings. Waves that can crush metal. Vextar shook his head. Your people really are insane. He also jumps off cliffs with just a piece of cloth to slow his fall, Myung added. We call it base jumping. How high are these cliffs? Sometimes over a kilometer straight down. The furry alien made a whimpering sound. The point is, Dong Ho said, what you see as deadly, we see as exciting. Earth taught us that danger and beauty often come together. But how does this help you in space? Asked Kickstel. Good question, Myung said. Let me tell you about Yujin Kong. She designs life support systems for spaceships. That sounds like a normal job, not the way Yujin does it. When she designs a system, she thinks about everything that could go wrong. She asks herself, what if we lose power? What if there's a fire? What if the ship breaks apart? What if we run out of air? That seems smart. Then she asks, what if all those things happen at the same time? The aliens looked surprised. Yujin designs systems that can keep humans alive even when everything goes wrong, Dong Ho explained. Her life support systems have saved thousands of lives in space accidents. How does she know what might go wrong? Because she grew up on Earth, Myung said. She learned that if something can go wrong, it probably will go wrong. So you plan for it. Other species design for normal conditions, Dong Ho added. Humans design for disasters. That's why our ships keep working when alien ships fail. Speaking of ships, Myung said, most aliens think our flying is crazy too. How so? We fly into asteroid fields that other species won't go near. We land on planets with violent storms. We explore systems with unstable stars. Why? Because compared to Earth weather, space storms are easy, Dong Ho said. I once flew through an ion storm that destroyed 2 alien ships. To me, it felt like a light rain. You see, Myung explained, when you grow up dodging lightning strikes and outrunning avalanches, flying through a meteor shower doesn't seem scary. What about fighting? Vextar asked. We here humans are fierce warriors. Let me tell you about Commander Taeho Shin, Dong Ho said. He leads a human military unit. What makes him special? The way he thinks about battle. Most aliens see a dangerous situation and try to avoid it. Taeho sees a dangerous situation and asks, how can I use this danger against my enemies? I don't understand. Last year, his unit was trapped on a planet during an earthquake, Myung said. The enemy had them surrounded. Most commanders would surrender. What did he do? He waited for the next earthquake, Dong Ho said. Then, he attacked during the shaking. His soldiers knew how to fight during earthquakes. The enemy didn't. The battle was over in minutes. He used the earthquake as a weapon. He used his training. On Earth, you learn to do everything during disasters, walk during earthquakes, drive during storms, even fight during floods. That's terrifying, said the small alien. 2 enemies, yes, Myung said. To friends, it's comforting. Human soldiers never give up. They always find a way to win. But we're not just fighters, Dong Ho added quickly. Earth also taught us to help each other. How when disasters happen, we work together. During hurricanes, strangers help strangers. During earthquakes, whole communities rebuild together. During floods, people risk their lives to save people they don't even know. This cooperation makes you strong. Very strong? We learned that survival isn't just about being tough, it's about taking care of each other. That's why human crews work so well together, Myung said. We know that everyone's survival depends on everyone else. Let me tell you about space exploration, Dong-ho continued. Most species explore space very carefully. They send robots first, they study everything. They take years to plan each mission. That sounds wise. It is wise. But humans do something different. We volunteer to go places that robots can't survive, like where? Gas giants with crushing gravity, binary star systems with deadly radiation, planets with poisonous atmospheres. Why would you go to such places? Because someone has to, Myung said simply. And we're hard to kill. Remember Dayun Song? Dong-ho asked. She's a scientist who studies alien life forms. What kind of alien life? The kind that other species won't go near. Life forms that live in acid, creatures that eat radiation, animals that survive in absolute zero temperatures. Sounds dangerous. Very dangerous. But Dayun grew up studying Earth life. She studied bacteria that live in boiling water, fish that live in crushing ocean depths, insects that survive being frozen solid. So alien life doesn't scare her. She finds it interesting. Last month, she discovered a creature that lives inside stars. Other scientists study it from millions of kilometers away. Dayun wants to build a ship to visit it. That's impossible, maybe. But if anyone can do it, it's a human. We specialize in impossible things. The aliens sat quietly, thinking. You see, Dong-ho said, Earth didn't just make us survivors, it made us explorers. It made us curious about dangerous places. It made us want to see what's beyond the next mountain, the next ocean, the next star. And it made us confident, Myung added. When you've survived the worst planet in the galaxy, you believe you can survive anything. That's why we're here, Dong-ho said, gesturing around the station. That's why humans travel to the furthest reaches of space. The aliens around the table looked at each other. Some seemed worried. Others looked amazed. A few looked like they might be sick. I think, said Kickstel slowly, we should tell you about our worlds, so you understand why your stories sound so... Impossible. Please do, Myung said. Kickstel stood up straighter. I am from Velthari Prime. It is a beautiful world. The temperature never changes more than 5 degrees all year. Rain comes every third day at exactly the same time. We have 2 suns, but they never create storms. What about dangerous animals? Dong-ho asked. We have no dangerous animals. The largest creature on our world is about the size of your hand. It eats flowers. Our biggest predator is a small bird that sometimes steals fruit. Earthquakes, volcanoes. Never. Our world is completely stable. The ground has not moved in over 1 million years. We have no mountains, no deep oceans. Just gentle hills and shallow lakes. What happens when something goes wrong? Myung asked. Nothing goes wrong, Kickstel said. That's the point. Our world is perfect. Safe, predictable. Ventar nodded. My world, Zephyros, is similar. We have seasons, but they change slowly. Very slowly. Our winter is like your spring. Our summer is warm, but never hot. Our storms are gentle rain that helps plants grow. How do you handle emergencies? Dong-ho asked. What emergencies? The worst thing that happens on Zephyros is when it rains a little harder than usual. Maybe once every 100 years, we get winds that blow at 30 kilometers per hour. We call those disaster winds. Several humans in the crowd started laughing. They had come over to listen to the conversation. 30 kilometers per hour, one of them said. That's a gentle breeze on Earth. Vextar, the large red alien, looked embarrassed. On my world, Kron Major, We are known as great warriors. We are the strongest species in our sector. What do you fight? Myung asked. Each other, mostly. We have tournaments and competitions. We test our strength against worthy opponents. What about your environment? Does your world challenge you? Vexter looked down. Our world is ... comfortable. The gravity is light. The air is easy to breathe. The temperature is always perfect for our species. Our biggest natural challenge is when the seasons change and it gets 10 degrees colder. 10 degrees, Dongho asked. Yes, we call it the season of hardship. We have to wear extra clothing. Some of the weaker Kron even go inside heated buildings. The humans were trying not to laugh. I think I understand the problem, said a new voice. A small insect-like alien had joined the group. I am Ziktar from the Hive Worlds. We have read the Galactic Council reports about your species. What do the reports say? Myung asked. They say humans are impossible, Ziktar said. The Council has studied your world from space. They sent robot probes to your surface. Every probe was destroyed within days. Destroyed by what? Weather, animals, volcanoes, earthquakes, storms, the ocean. Your world killed our most advanced robots like they were toys. So the Council decided Earth was too dangerous for life, Dongho asked. Not just too dangerous for life, too dangerous for anything. The reports say that nothing should be able to survive on Earth for more than a few days. But then you showed up, Ventar said. Not just alive, but healthy, strong, smart. Your technology works in places where ours fails. It confused everyone. Kickstel added. How could a species evolve on a world that kills everything? The Council had meetings about it, Ziktar said. Some scientists thought you were lying about being from Earth. Others thought you had somehow changed your own evolution. Changed our evolution? Myung asked. Made yourselves stronger with technology. Enhanced your bodies, built machines into yourselves. We're completely natural, Dongho said. No enhancements, no machines. Just regular humans. That's what made it more confusing, Ventar said. Natural creatures from a death world, traveling in space like it's easy. Easy, Dongho laughed. Space travel isn't easy. It is for you, Vexter said. I have seen human pilots do things that our best pilots won't even attempt. Flying through asteroid fields, landing on unstable surfaces, navigating during solar storms, and your soldiers, added another alien who had just joined them. I am Commander Rolthok of the Sigma Defense Fleet. I have fought alongside human units. What was that like? Myung asked. Terrifying. And I was on their side. Rolthok sat down heavily. Human soldiers don't retreat. They don't surrender. They don't give up, even when the situation is hopeless. We had a battle on Kepler 2b, he continued. My unit was trapped in a canyon during an ion storm. The enemy had us surrounded. Our equipment was failing. I ordered a retreat. What did the humans do? They asked if they could stay and fight. I told them it was suicide. They said, suicide was just Tuesday on Earth. Did they stay? Yes. 5 humans against 50 enemies, during an electrical storm that was frying our senses. They won. How? I still don't know. When I asked them later, they said the storm reminded them of summer afternoons back home. The aliens were quiet for a moment. There's something else, Ziktar said. Your medical knowledge, what about it? Human doctors can treat injuries that we consider impossible to survive. Humans recover from wounds that would kill any other species. We have a doctor named Sungho Wong on our ship, Dongho said. He treats humans and aliens. I know of him, Roltok said. He once treated a Kron warrior who had been crushed by falling rocks. Both legs broken, internal bleeding, skull cracked. We were preparing funeral rites. What happened, Dr. Wong? Fixed him, not just healed him, made him stronger than before. The warrior said human medical techniques are like magic. It's not magic, Myung said. It's just that our doctors learn to treat injuries that happen on Earth. Broken bones, from falling off cliffs. Burns from lava, cuts from shark bites. Poison from snake bites. Your routine medical training covers things we consider fatal accidents, Ventar said. That's why human medical schools are becoming famous across the galaxy, Kickstel added. Alien students come to Earth to learn impossible medical techniques. But they can't handle the training, Dongho said. Most aliens can't even survive the practice simulations. Because the simulations are based on real Earth emergencies, Myung explained. What we call basic first aid, other species called miracle surgery. I'm starting to understand, Vexstar said slowly. Earth didn't create weak creatures that barely survive. It created strong creatures that make survival look easy. Your death world made you into the toughest species in the galaxy, Roltok said. And you don't even realize it. We know we're tough, Dongho said. We just didn't know everyone else was so, fragile. Fragile, Kickstel asked. You come from safe worlds, comfortable worlds, worlds that take care of you. Earth never took care of us. We had to take care of ourselves, and each other, Myung added. That's the secret. Earth taught us that we're stronger together. That's why human teams work so well, Reltok said. You trust each other completely. You know your teammate will never abandon you, no matter how bad things get. Because on Earth, Dongho said, abandoning your team means everyone dies. So we never abandon anyone. The aliens sat quietly, thinking about what they had learned. We always wondered, Ziktar said finally, why humans volunteer for the most dangerous missions in space. Why you explore places that scare other species. Now we know, Ventar said. Compared to your home world, nothing in space is really dangerous. Everything is dangerous, Myung corrected. But danger just means you have to be careful and smart and work together. And those are The cantina had become completely quiet. Aliens from dozens of different worlds had gathered around to listen. Some sat on chairs, others stood in the back, a few hung from the ceiling on special grips. All of them stared at Dongho and Myung with new understanding. So now you know, Dongho said. Earth is called a death world because it should kill everything that lives there, but it doesn't kill us, it makes us stronger. But I still don't understand one thing, Kickstel said. When I first asked you about Earth, you smiled. Why do you smile when you talk about such a dangerous place? Dongho's smile got bigger. That's the most important part of the story. Tell us, said Ventar. Earth taught us something that no other world teaches, Myung said. It taught us the difference between surviving and living. What do you mean? Most species just try to stay alive, Dongho explained. They avoid danger, they stay safe, they don't take risks. That's surviving, and living is different. Living is what humans do. We don't just try to stay alive, we try to make life worth living. I still don't understand. Dongho stood up and walked to the window. Through the thick glass, he could see stars scattered across space like diamonds. Let me tell you about our ship's doctor, Song-Ho Wong. The one who saves impossible patients, Raltok asked. Yes, but that's not why he became a doctor. He became a doctor because when he was young, his village was hit by a terrible earthquake. The aliens listened carefully. Many people were hurt. The local doctors did their best, but they didn't have enough supplies or knowledge. Sung-Ho watched people die who could have been saved. That's terrible, said the furry alien. It was. But instead of being angry or scared, Sung-Ho made a choice. He decided to learn everything he could about healing people. He studied for years. He practiced on the most difficult cases he could find. Why the most difficult cases? Because he figured that if he could save people that other doctors couldn't save, then he would never have to watch someone die who could have been saved. Myung nodded. That's very human thinking. We don't just accept that bad things happen, we try to make them better. But there's more to the story, Dong-Ho continued. Sung-Ho could have become a doctor on Earth. Safe hospitals, easy patients, good pay. Instead, he joined a space crew. Why? Because he knew that in space, medical emergencies are worse than anything on Earth. And if someone is going to handle those emergencies, it should be someone who learned medicine on the worst world in the galaxy. He chose the more dangerous path. He chose the path where he could help the most people. Vexter shook his head. Humans really are insane. No, Myung said gently. We're just optimistic. Optimistic. We believe that things can get better. We believe that problems can be solved. We believe that if something is difficult, it just means we haven't learned how to do it yet. Earth taught us that, Dong-ho said, returning to his seat. Every day on Earth, something tries to kill you. Every day, you have to solve problems to stay alive. After a while, you start to believe that every problem has a solution. And if you can't find the solution, asked Zik, then you haven't looked hard enough yet, Myung said with a smile. That's why we explore space, Dong-ho continued. Other species see a dangerous star system and think, we should stay away. Humans see the same system and think, what interesting challenges might be waiting there. You see danger as opportunity. We see danger as information. It tells us what we need to prepare for, what we need to learn, what equipment we need to build. Remember what I said about Yujin Kang, our engineer, Myung asked. She doesn't just design systems that work. She designs systems that turn problems into advantages. How her latest project is a ship that uses solar storms for power. Other species run away from solar storms. Her ship flies toward them and gets stronger. That's impossible. That's what everyone said about living on Earth, Dong-ho pointed out. But we figured it out. There's something else, Myung said. Earth didn't just make us tough, it made us curious. Curious. When you live on a world full of mysteries, you learn to ask questions. Why do volcanoes erupt? How do storms form? What makes earthquakes happen? Where do animals come from? And when you start asking questions about your own world, Dong-ho added, you start wondering about other worlds too. That's why humans love to explore, Myung said. We grew up on a world that was constantly surprising us. We expect the universe to be full of surprises too. Good surprises. All surprises are good if you learn something from them. Kickstel was quiet for a moment. Then he asked, but what about fear? Don't you ever get scared? Of course we get scared, Dong-ho said. Fear is useful, it keeps you alert, it makes you careful, it helps you survive. But we don't let fear stop us, Myung added. Taught us that being scared and being brave aren't opposites. You can be both at the same time. How being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. Being brave means you do what needs to be done even when you are scared. Every human who leaves Earth is scared, Dong-ho said. Space is big and dark and dangerous, but we come anyway. Why? Because space is also beautiful and full of wonders and amazing people like all of you. The aliens looked around at each other. You see, Myung said, Earth taught us the most important lesson of all. Life is dangerous. Life is hard. Life is full of problems and pain and scary things. And, prompted Ventar, and life is still worth living, Dong-ho said. In fact, it's the dangerous, hard, problematic parts that make it worth living. I don't understand. Think about it, Myung said. If Earth was safe and boring like your worlds, would we be here talking to you? Would we have built ships to explore space? Would we have become doctors and engineers and scientists? Probably not, Kickstel admitted. Earth's dangers didn't just make us strong, Dong-ho said. They made us who we are. They gave us purpose. They taught us to value every day we're alive. They taught us to help each other, Myung added. They taught us to solve problems. They taught us to never give up. Most importantly, Dong-ho said, they taught us to smile. Why smile? Because we're still here. Because we survived another day. Because we learned something new. Because we helped someone. Because tomorrow might bring new challenges, and challenges are just opportunities in disguise. The aliens sat quietly, thinking. So when you asked me why Earth is called a death world, Dong-ho said, I smiled because I thought about all the ways our death world made life better. It made us explorers instead of stay-at-homes. It made us helpers instead of just survivors. It made us friends with each other instead of competitors. And Myung said, it gave us the confidence to come out here and meet all of you. We're not afraid of the universe, Dong-ho said, looking around at all the alien faces. We're excited about it. Every new world, every new species, every new challenge, it's all just more life to live. That's why we smile, Myung said. Because we're alive, we're learning, and we're making friends across the galaxy. Earth is a death world, Dong-ho said, standing up. But we're not dead, we're more alive than ever. The cantina was silent for a long moment. Then, slowly, started to smile too. I think, he said, I understand now. Understand why humans are the most popular species in the galaxy. Why everyone wants to work with you. Why your crews never